Hey everybody, it's we're back. It's game 2 of Commonwealth Esports week 2, day 1. It's your old pal Sneezes here. I'm going to be handling our play-by-play duties, and I'm here to welcome Ninja.
Yeah.
Did I get that right?
Yep. Yep.
Thanks for jumping in. So we got a 1 ban loss for Nocturnal Dragons, unfortunately, due to a minor rule violation last week. So play by the rules, everybody. All good. I really like the pick ban going so far though. The Morgana was a super impactful pick last game. So good to see teams watching and adapting and doing their thing. So yeah, we're getting into it now. I think there might be some. Oh no, there was a ban loss. Yeah, so teams are a little confused about the ban loss, but yeah, we're having some technical issues. It appears with
Looks like they banned two. Yeah, they were having the
yeah,
CLUD
there was
ban, and
supposed
they
to
were
be a
confirming that it
ban.
was supposed to go through.
Yeah, so minor technical issues with Pro Draft. Just note for everybody, if you don't actually lock in the ban, it doesn't do anything. So we have a CLED ban here. So RAR just I would say is going to respect that. It's one of the little downsides of Pro Draft sometimes. The client will force you to do stuff, but this client doesn't. So
Looks like a couple of bans towards
it
the
was an
top.
inappropriate pause was the rule violation. I'm sorry for not being more clear. It's not a big deal. 1 ban isn't the end of the world. Oh, and the Wukong. I think this is a specific Jared the Bear ban. I think it's a Nocturnal Dragon specific ban. And oh, we have the first pick Mordekaiser, super spicy. We saw some similarly spicy first pick last game with the first pick Atrox. So it seems like these top lane style of champions. So last game was Atrox jungle, but these priority solo laners are coming off the board really quickly. Super important. What do you think about the first pick Mordekaiser?
I think it's a little bit interesting. What I've been seeing a lot of leagues and groups do is they pick their jungler and their bot lane for the first 3 picks, leaving their solo lanes to try to force a counter pick. But Mordekaiser is a champion that plays well into a lot of the top lane melee matchups, so he's gonna be a decently safe pick for at least the early to mid game in the top lane.
Oh, and Fiora Blitzcrank. See, I totally agree with you on the draft order. I think the jungle bot lane or like the jungle support solo lane is like the super meta thing that all the LCS and like pro teams are doing, and I'm interested to see how Nocturnal Dragons evolves their draft. But Fiora's super strong. She just got buffed. Her Q can hit turrets. Blitzcrank just got buffed, so it looks like RAR is riding the patch notes really hard here, which is always cool to see new champions come back into the meta. Xin Zhao, strong early game jungler, decent clear speed, but really it's those level 2, level 3 ganks. What do you think about the Xin Zhao pick?
I think that it's pointing towards a lot of pressure towards the top lane. If a Mordekaiser gets ahead of the Fiora, he's just going to run her down every single fight. But if the Fiora gets ahead, she can start taking the turrets really easily with the new buffed Q and E. So I'm hoping that RAR picks a strong jungler to match the Xin Zhao and put pressure towards top lane.
Now I really like the Vayne pick here. I think it's super good for the Blitzcrank because Blitzcrank presses Q, then you press Q and you get out of the way. But you have to have a lot of confidence. I think Gnome Lad is a confident player and he's a very aggressive player. So good pick for him, but you got to be careful where you take your fights. And then Jinx is a nice, scaling option here. So it looks like teams are kind of following the standard around draft. I think RAR, I don't know about the early pick, but I guess you're playing against Mordekaiser, so not a big deal. I wonder who teams are going to pinch out here in the second phase of the draft. I coach a team. I don't know if you know this. Jin Ninja. Sorry, I'm
You can
screwing it
just
up.
call me Ninja,
But
dude.
Ninja.
It's
All
good.
right, yeah, it's cool. And we like to do a very similar red side strategy to what they've done on blue side. So it looks like support's getting banned out heavily here, but maybe it's gonna be jungle. Yep. So jungle for Nocturnal Dragons, and it looks like a support pinch for RAR.
Since they've got RAR already picked their bot lane, they probably want to pick laners, ban out laners that they don't want to see, the Morgana and the Nami.
The Nico too. The Nico was, it's really mid focus. Psycho Ghost is a solid Nico player. I think, yeah, I think he's very comfortable on that champion, and with what you have on the rest of the map, it was a good takeaway. I wonder if they go full jungle pinch here, or if they're gonna take out another laner. Full jungle pinch.
No respect towards the mid laner. Huh.
Yeah, Koma getting a lot of that respect. That's be interesting. So, red side strat, generic strat here is take your jungler and then give your mid laner the last pick. I wonder if they just go ahead and pick the mid though. We'll see with all the pinching. I think they're gonna pick jungler, but you never know. Yep, there you go.
Looks like the jungler. Another early game champion has strong level 3 ganks, so hopefully we'll be trying to match the Xin Zhao. I don't think Elise beats Xin Zhao.
I don't think so
early
either.
on. So
Yeah, 1v1 is totally Xin Zhao's court.
But I think they'll handle the 2v2 well because they can focus down one singular person.
Yeah, that's a really good nuanced approach. You know, Elise wins if so. What he's trying to say, what you're saying is Elise wins if there's a gank, but in the jungle in the river by yourself, Xin Zhao wins. So you have a nice nuanced matchup there. It'll be really interesting to see how they play that out. Oh, and the post nerf Silas, Psycho Ghost on the Silas. I think it's a nice neutral pick, but
I see a lot of melee champions on
yeah.
Nocturnal Dragon's side. I feel like that can run into some issues when they get towards sieging.
And Vayne is also short range. It's not like they have a Caitlyn or something to back it all up.
Yep. So I think Victor's a decent choice as a strong wave clear champion.
Yeah, I really think it depends. You know, Nocturnal Dragon's champion select looks a little bit on the meh end, especially with the post nerf Silas. I have no idea how good Silas is in the mid lane anymore. I know he got hot fixed with the armor issues, but the passive nerf is still a huge issue after all the damage nerfs he's taken. So
his wave clear definitely took a hit. He's going to be ahead to effectively clear waves, but I don't think it'll even matter. Post nerf, pre nerf, he's not going to outpush Victor after he gets his first upgrade.
Yeah, even with the Hex Tech Proto Belt, there's no chance of him out wave clearing Victor. So maybe Xin can remedy that, but it's a little concerning. What do you think of these bot lanes? You know, oftentimes in solo queue, people view the dragon as the jungler's responsibility, but in my view, the winning bot lane more often than not gets the dragon. So, what do you think about these lanes? Who do you think? You know, the Blitzcrank Jinx is kind of a volatile lane. There's a lot of interesting things you can do mechanically with those champions in the lane. But Vayne Nautilus is like, can Blitzcrank hook the Vayne, and does Blitzcrank even want to hook the Nautilus? Those are the questions I'm kind of asking going to this game.
I would guess that Nocturnal Dragons has the stronger bot lane. Vayne with press the attack trades a lot better than Jinx does, especially pre first back. And Nautilus is all around just a more like jack of all trades kind of champion compared to Blitzcrank.
Complete tank. Yeah.
Yeah. Blitzcrank does one thing and one thing well, while Nautilus can act as a couple more points for the Vayne.
If you were really spicy, if you were super mega extra spicy, would you go the Victor top and the Fiora mid? I don't think that's what they're doing. I'm just wondering how spicy that would be. Because you have a melee on melee with Fiora Silas.
Does Victor just lose to Mordekaiser's Xin Zhao? The thing with Victor top is that it's a longer lane, so if he ever pushes up, he's in a lot of danger from Xin Zhao.
No, really good point. Really nice nice point there. I was just wondering if Victor, what do we think Victor's gonna go here? Is this a Comet Victor, or are we gonna go Klepto? I would go maybe consider Klepto even in the mid lane because of the Silas.
I'd consider Klepto, yeah. Just Q start and just poke him out as much as you can. If he doesn't want to go Klepto, I'd recommend Airy, because he'll poke on his auto attacks and just try to poke out the Silas. But I don't think the poke plan is the greatest against Silas. Against other melee mids, it's better, but Silas has the shielding on his E and the healing on his W, and he usually goes.
And a good amount of mobility. You know, he can dodge a lot of that poke.
So I would go Klepto if I was him.
I agree. I think the value for Klepto is so nice, especially when he already has the wave clear advantage. Speaking of Silas, let's get into kind of who. Let's put our Silas hat on, right? I'm Silas. I want to win the game. I'm gonna pilot this champion. Whose ult is he stealing? Who's super? What lanes is he gonna go to if he ever gets the chance to roam? Obviously Victor ult. Maybe in certain situations Jinx ult or Elise ult. What do you think about like Fiora's ult or Blitzcrank's ult here?
I think Blitz is the most impactful. It has a actually, I'm not entirely sure about the math on Silas stealing ultimates, but Blitzcrank all has a 1-to-1 ratio with AP. So
Mm-hmm.
it's got a gigantic range, so it can just be a gigantic haymaker in fights, knocking people down, maybe like 1,000 health, depending on how much APA has and how late in the game they are.
I think
It,
it has an equivalent ratio, but
for things
it,
that
it
don't
is
have
very strange. It's
ratios and
very like
changes.
I know that when Silas converts a AD ult into an AP ult, it doesn't have the same properties because the numbers get out of bounds.
Yeah,
I would say it has like comparable properties, but without sitting in the PBE and like looking at every single ultimate. But yeah, I agree. In a fight, especially with his E and his W, being able to
he
silence
can get
four or
in
five
there.
people, he can get in there and make something happen.
Yep.
Um,
And I think the roaming point, I think I like a lot of pressure going to the top lane. Whichever top laner gets ahead can kind of keep that momentum rolling for a long while, and it'll be hard for the other one to stop it. So I think putting more pressure towards top lane is going to be more impactful than bot lane. Two hook champions makes it very easy to gank for bot lane, but I think
mhm.
both the ADCs are hyperscalers, so it's not gonna be insane. It's not like you're waiting for that 2-item vein to go crazy.
Yeah. So last game we saw Mordekaiser kind of do okay in lane against a Yorick and eventually fall slightly behind. And Yorick was able to just take over the game from a split push perspective while the Mordekaiser tried to get back in with team fights. And it wasn't successful. So I see a similar play pattern here where I think in the early laning phase, Mordekaiser is going to be strong, but they really need to focus on keeping Fiora down because if Mordekaiser TP's bot and Fiora gets a couple plates and that play doesn't work out, um, you can have a lot of issues with dealing with Fiora later in the game. You can't. The Death Realm doesn't help you if Fiora just procs her ult. It's a little concerning, I think, for Mordekaiser. He's going to be strong. He's going to be, an impactful champion. It's not like last game he had a very poor matchup. It was a really disadvantageous matchup, but I wonder what your thoughts are on the Fiora v Mordekaiser. Because personally, I haven't played that matchup. I played the Yorick matchup and it was abysmal. But what do you think about this matchup,
Well,
excluding the junglers? Like, let's ignore the junglers for
in
now.
just top lane only.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Fiora definitely uh, beats Mordekaiser after the first buy. On a base damage level, Mordekaiser's passive is just insane. Paired up with Conqueror, which I'm assuming he's taking. We can't see
It's
yet,
a good.
but
It's a fair assumption. We would assume it was a mistake if he wasn't taking
yeah.
it. So I think that's a fine working assumption.
So I think Fiora beats Mordekaiser after the first buy, and then beats him as the game continues on. Her percentage max health true damage, and with the healing off of her passive, she's gonna buy lifesteal items, 4 procs off of her ultimate, plus maybe 1 to 2 off of her passive while they're skirmishing. We can assume that she's taking Conqueror, maybe press the attack or lethal tempo. Either way, all of
Hmm.
them are good aggressive runes to
My
take
bet
for
would be
her.
Conqueror to deal with the Mordekaiser sustain. You kind of have to
Most
get a
likely.
sustain for its sustain.
They're definitely going to be extended fights, but I think the Fiora is going to buy lifesteal really easily and can definitely get an MR item, maybe a Maw Mortius, and just run down the Mordekaiser.
So Conqueror is totally in vogue here, and we were right about the Victor prediction. So while we hopefully load up quicker than last game, let's get into skin to win. What do you like, skin wise?
Well,
Pure aesthetics.
there's two no skins on red side, which is a shame. But
Shame.
yeah, I'm a sucker for Creator Victor. I don't like Subterranean Nautilus. Um, or Dragon Slayer Vayne.
Just your vote on who has the best skin right now in the game.
Dragon Slayer Zinzao, 100%.
Ooh, that is a 6 skin. I got to give it to Project Jinx. I love Jinx. I love her aesthetic. She's really cool. I think she's got the Jake the Dog dance, which you can't beat. And I'm just wondering, who is Red Side using for support? Because I have no idea who that champion is, dude.
Yeah, it's definitely not a champion, but I feel like it'll be a good play against the Nautilus. I feel like it'll match up well, whoever that is.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I don't know if Office Worker can get it done, but hopefully Office Worker beats Nautilus in lane, because
Well, I mean, it's a new release, so we don't, nobody knows
we
the
know who
match.
it's not, though. We know it's definitely not Blitzcrank.
100%.
Yeah, sorry, had to do it, guys. Mandatory. I'm a little disappointed in the lack of skins. At least only has a couple skins. There's only 1 or 2 good ones.
I mean, Blood Moon release is really good.
Yeah, Blood Moon's really good. Super Galaxy Elise is really good. I play a little bit of Elise. I haven't played her in a while. I used to main her. But all the nerfs, she's still fine. Like, she's actually fine. But oh, hey, it's Commonwealth Esports, guys. That's how we do it here.
All right, now they're back. That was a very quick pause.
Mistakes happen, guys. So let's think about level 1s here. I think one team has a clear level 1 advantage. It's just my opinion. We'll see what happens. What do you think? Who do you think? It looks like we got a fight brewing, maybe, based on how these guys are walking. But I'm seeing some aggressive pings.
I think blue side has Nocturnal Dragons has the better level 1. Silas can go E and not be punished for it. Where Elise, if she goes for her cocoon, she'll get punished for it. She'll have a hard time clearing. All they have is the Blitzcrank hook. Nautilus can take his hook and match it.
So what I'm seeing, really nice prediction on Nocturnal Dragon's side. They predicted that RAR would invade with the Blitzcrank, because this is pretty much the standard Blitzcrank invade, right? You walk through the river, you walk into the red buff, Now they're gonna see 5 people. No one sees them here. If someone goes and checks the red, they're dead as heck. And it's nice. Either you get a free red. The bot lane needs to be leaving though.
Yeah,
They're gonna lose
bot lane
CS.
should have left 13 seconds ago.
Yeah. 1 minute is your general back timer, so they're definitely getting to lane late. That's a little bit of a misplay, but
miss the first wave.
they might go to mid lane. Who knows? Oh, here comes Fiora.
She's super dead.
She can flash out maybe, but
Yeah, no Q off Zinzao, no E off of Silas.
yeah, so that's sort of Q.
Silas leashing is gonna miss the first couple creeps, but he missed 2.
He missed his melee minions.
All 3, and then bot lane
Took
coming
forever.
as fast as they can. Ooh, Jinx taking out all 3 of the minions. Nope, they die anyway. 2 of them at least.
All 3. Jinx realized, hey, we should let those minions die. So yeah, we already have an experienced lead pretty much everywhere for RAR. It's a little bit worrying, but I appreciate the effort. I'm glad teams are trying to do some cool things level 1.
And they're working together on it.
You need to plan it out a little better. That's the emphasis here from the caster desk. Oh, hook. Here we go. You got the aftershock proc. Really nice use of the level 2. They know they're getting level 2 first.
I would have rather seen Jinx take her traps level 2.
Yeah.
To work with the Blitzcrank. QE is long enough of a CC duration to keep them in place long enough for the traps to charge.
I think they pulled the trigger a little too soon. I think what happened was Blitzcrank hooked right at the moment they were going to get level 2, and then when Jinx finally got around to skilling, it was later on. So that's what it looked like to me. I think we give players the benefit of the doubt in some situations like that. I like that the Silas is trying to wave clear this in, but he's going to end up burning through his whole mana pool. It's a little worrying. Elise's... The pathing isn't bad here. She only stuck on blue, but she's keeping up in gold because of... Well, she's cleared more of her jungle, so... I wonder if she goes topside here. It looks like it.
almost kill bot side. Nautilus had a flash, Vayne had a heal just to keep him alive. But
Yeah, I gotta keep the camera in normal mode. Sorry, I'm not following the stream. Oh, here's the topside gank. Elise going in. She missed the cocoon. NDRvsRWR procs his passive. There's a good flash, but I think the damage is gonna be there. No, gets pulled onto the tower. Ooh, and the escapes with less than 100 health. Elise is walking away with 83 health right now, so it was lower than that. So nice.
Look at bot lane.
Oh, first blood.
Yep.
My auto camera's not working. I'm sorry, guys.
So what
Bad
happened there
play-by-play
was
there.
Blitzcrank hooked in the Nautilus, and both Vayne and Nautilus turned onto the Jinx.
Yeah, that's kind of the issue around Blitzcrank.
And Nautilus still had the Ignite, press the attack Vayne, paired with Condemn, can deal a lot of damage very quickly, so she went very, very suddenly. Crit Cloak first buy for Jinx, which is an interesting choice. It gives almost no stats in lane. Basically
Yeah,
20% chance of doubling damage for one auto.
Especially with Vayne getting her boots too. That's a super. If I'm the jungler, I'm sitting there and like, okay, my name's Quetzalcoatl. I'm a professional bot lane ganker. Like, that's a super advantageous thing that you can exploit. And that's what you want to look for in the jungle.
Yeah, effectively Jinx has no items aside from the Doran's Blade. She didn't even purchase a potion, so she's significantly weaker than the Vayne is right now.
Ooh, really nice collapse on Elise here. Fiora's winning the 1v1. This is the camera has no idea what it's doing, but yeah, really a lot of skirmishing going on. I think if Xin Zhao gets the drop on Elise, he wins, but Elise can still just front load her damage and walk away, especially if you have teammates there to help you. So
I think this is Elise's time to go mid. Silas just earned his flash trying to land the second part of his E on her. So if they continue heavily trading mid lane, I think that's a good
it looks
point
like mid
for
or
Elise to go.
top. I mean, Fiora's about to come back with some items, and NDRvsRWR already just blew his teleport. So you know, if there's a time to gank a lane, it's when they don't have an easy way back.
No TP top, no flash top. An aggressive control work to help secure vision and get Elise closer to the Mordekaiser.
So let's talk about CS. You know, we kind of had a general idea in the early game about how these lanes would play out, aside from the kills. You know, good on Vayne getting the kill, by the way. But I don't think there's anything untoward or unexpected about these numbers. You know, Vayne we know is going to lose CS to Jinx just because of the range. The top lane is pretty even. It's actually going to be in Fiora's small favor because of where the wave is, but I would have expected
And that's probably because
Victor
of
to out farm a little bit.
yeah, the Fiora's probably a little bit ahead because of the early gank by Elise.
This is a really nice play. Yeah, really nice full combo by Silas. Unfortunately, the timing was a little bit off, and Quetzalcoatl couldn't get his damage in. So overall, really nice play, but equally well played by Victor to get out. So I get nervous about the camera when we're seeing like small trades. Yeah, Fiora. Oh, here comes a really big gank. This Elise is playing this really well. They got to do as much damage as possible before the Shadow Realm. Yep, that's how you do it. And then Elise can, yep, she can float as long as she can. But it's not gonna be enough. Yeah, NDRvsRWR played that so well. Unfortunately,
Smallest play by
oh,
Fiora.
he got out. Okay. I was just saying, unfortunately, I thought Fiora would have too much, but really nicely done by both parties. It's just kind of the ball of stats that Mordekaiser is.
Ooh.
Ooh, the nice steal, Jinx. Really well done. Did he have smite up? He didn't have smite up. That was the issue. So
That was smart by blue side. You see the jungler top side. You know, if you have bot priority, you know you're free to go ahead and take the Drake. But Jinx was on her shit.
I play a good amount of support, and I like tanky boys like Tom Kench. So one thing that I do that maybe can benefit people in the future is when you know they have someone like Jinx who can steal objectives with a rocket, you want to position yourself so that you can body block. You tanking a little bit of the Drake or like doing your mediocre support damage isn't going to do much for the objective, but blocking a rocket will. Especially if you're jungler on your own comms and you know there's no smite available. So just a little tip for everybody from a flat 4 whatever crappy support. But that's what I would do.
You can do that for a lot of you can do that for a lot of projectiles that come in Ezreal, Q, Thresh Hook. Like you see the videos of somebody wildly stealing a Baron with it. You just stand on the other side of the pit when it gets close, and it gets harder for them to steal it.
Yeah, and I think the important thing is that the game has been out for such a long time. It's my opinion that most people are pretty good at it. That's a sweet hook by Nautilus. Oh, and an even better hook by Blitzcrank. Quetzalcoatl goes down. Elise will Elise live? Oh, Vayne auto-attacks a minion. Here comes the Jinx rocket. Nautilus is certainly dead here. But they trade kill on Blitz, maybe. Gnomelad keeps juking. He's slowed. There's too much damage, unfortunately. Yeah, really nice skirmish. And it just, the way the kits played out, Elise played that super well. Jinx did her damage and got the free hit. I think both teams took what they could. Big play by Sylas here. The snare, the stun. Here comes the ult. Elise ult here. Oh, it's too late. Yeah, really nice gank.
Sylas's flash was still down from earlier when that gank started. It's just coming up now. With what happened bot side, it looked like they threw all of the Xin Zhao, the Knot, and the Vi, and the Vayne all went for the Jinx, but the Jinx had both flash and heal up, so she got herself away, and then Elise was free to turn on on Vayne and Nautilus, and the Blitzcrank.
And Blitzcrank landed a super good hook. You know, I don't want to understate how good that hook was. Pulling him under tower, negating the ult from Quetzalcoatl. Just super nice hook.
It single-handedly took him out of the fight, turned the 3v3 to a 2v3.
And what I really like too is Elise didn't rest on her laurels. She went mid right away, and Blitzcrank is looking to do the same. So Sylas is gonna come back. He's like, man, I just lost a fight. That sucks. I'm gonna clear this wave out. I want to fight again. And then Blitzcrank's gonna show up and ruin his day again. That's what I'm kind of wondering happens here. Nope, he's going back. Didn't waste too much time.
So this is a while back now, but since we have a pause in action, the Elise gank up top lane earlier when they were both 6, the Fiora misplayed and dropped the ultimate on Mordekaiser before Mordekaiser went into the Shadow Realm. So when Mordekaiser pops into the Shadow Realm, Fiora can't hit him.
Yeah, and Elise can't proc it, so yeah, you guarantee that Mordekaiser never gets ulted, the healing isn't there. Yeah, that's...
Yep, all the damage, all the movement speed. If she saved it until afterwards, Elise would have died, but she would have at least killed Mordekaiser.
This is a nice gank, but Elise is here. They gotta kill him really fast. Oh, nice. Elise is gonna get at least one trade, if not both. This Elise is so strong. This Q is gonna hurt. Here comes the QW. Yep, nice double kill. It's just, oh, bot lane fighting. Wow, this game is action-packed. I would stay on the Blitzcrank. Just murder the Blitz. Oh well, Gnome knows more than I do. He's got the damage.
It's
yeah,
that
really.
Press the attack.
Yeah, press the attack super strong. Vayne doesn't even have Bork yet. Imagine how strong she's gonna be when she finishes Rage Blade. Super nice play by Vayne. Nautilus hook. You know, they need the bot lane is kind of like the mid lane situation. It's like, what is Sylas gonna do against Victor, and then what is oh. Speaking of which, we got the Shadow Realm here. Elise has nowhere to go. Another Q, nice dodge. They really need Mordekaiser to proc his passive. Nice kill. Here comes, he's certainly dead. It's a good turn back for Fiora, but yeah, I think the side lanes are going so well for Nocturnal Dragons, while RAR is really winning in the mid lane and jungle. And that's why we're seeing like, you know, 100 gold difference between these teams, despite all the crazy action. Oh, here comes another gank. I never get to rest, guys. TP coming in. You can't cancel anymore. Is Fiora able to trade? Yes. Theo ult. Got a proc it. One more hit. Oh, that's really okay. Got it. Nice roam. Oh, this is too much. I need a breather, dude. I need a glass of water. This is super action packed. I think we had this many kills at 25 minutes last game, so I don't know how the LPL or LEC casters do it with this many early game kills. This feels like GT versus Fnatic.
Yeah, it's a lot of kills going
Oh, and
around.
Blitzcrank's coming in. I just stopped talking and now here Blitzhook's Nautilus. That's the one thing you don't want. But there's enough damage here. Nope. Just some trading, just some pokes. I think if Blitzhook's a squishy target there, it goes way differently. But the double Inferno going over for RAR, I mean, you gotta worry about that. The scaling is really nice for Vayne. The side lanes are kind of taking over, but I would be getting that. Yep, I see the pings coming down to the Rift Herald now. Silas should shove that lane as hard as he can. That's, you know, I know being 0-3 kind of sucks, but that's really the shtick right now. Man, Jared the Bear is doing damage. Alright, I promise we're slowed down. What are your thoughts on the game state? We're still less than 1,000 gold. What's it look like to you?
I think this is Red Games, Red Side's game. They have significantly better scaling than Blue Side. Vayne outscales Jinx in a vacuum where they're just auto attacking each other. But I think with Elise and Blitzcrank, they'll be pressuring Vayne enough that the range advantage from Jinx will be enough to out damage. And then Victor scales insanely well. Fiora can just split push, and Mordekaiser can't do anything after a certain point. And with 2 Infernals and going decently even early game,
You think Red Side just takes over?
I think it's their game.
Yeah, I can see the fall off. I think Blue Side has being about a 1k gold lead with, and I would cast this Herald out honestly, but being about a 1k gold lead with you know, such an early game focused comp, and having your mid laner be so far behind, I just don't know if the Silas can do it. But Jared the Bear can definitely take over the game. If he keeps killing the Fiora, then you're really, and here comes the Death Realm. Elise is just gonna sit here and wait for stuff to happen. You know, I think you gotta kind of wait for Fiora to die, and then now he can kill. Really concerning. There's the damage, but the magic pen is so strong, and at least they just walk away. So.
In a perfect world, it should be breaking out where Fiora's winning at this point, but she has a lot of expensive items to get. Mordekaiser already has a Rylai's and can just keep running her down.
Yeah, once you see Fiora finish the Triforce, I want to revisit that matchup because it seems like a I think Mordekaiser is being inflated by the item advantage. You're totally right about the matchup. I don't want anyone to confuse the matchups just because it's going into differently than what we predicted. You know, it's totally an item thing. And just AP items are better. It's just crazy.
Triforce is very expensive, gives you a bunch of stats, and she also went for the T-Mat, so she's got a lot of gold to go until she can get that Triforce.
I would say
700 more.
I just want to make a random point, right? It's my opinion that in the current state of the game in the meta, Rylai's is probably the worst AP item in the game. But AP items are so much better than AD items that even with Rylai's as your first buy and really not much else, you just do so much damage. This is a super good hook by Nautilus. This fight is super over right away. I love the front loaded damage. I love that Gnome Lad is going straight for the squishy meat. Gnome Lad is popping off, and I think here comes the Herald. This is tier 2 easily.
That's huge for Blue Side. That gets him a turret. That gets him 3 kills. Vayne is 6-1 and 2 now. She's definitely going to be the main point. Yep. Because if you look at, again, look at the champions.
Double lift, but you got revenge.
So yeah,
so they don't get inner turret. Victor played it really well. You know, that ironically that was his first kill. I think Elise had taken all the other kills.
5 assists.
Yeah, 5 assists. Rip. But yeah, super well played. Overall, the Vayne is just having herself a game. Gnomelad, you know, the team I coach, we scrim them a lot. I'm under the Casual Banter org that Nocturnal Dragons is under. We all play under the same org, so they're one of my regular scrim partners. You know, we have an ADC that's very similar to Gnome in playstyle. Aggressive, heavy target selection, wants to scrap, you know. I think he's made everybody, all the bot lane support ADC. Gnome coming in has made everybody better because of the way he plays and how focused he is. You know, I kind of talked about earlier his target selection, and I thought it was a liability with him greeting for this for the ADC, but really it's an asset. He's going after the most important target in every fight, and on Vayne that's so critical. Like, look at that damage. Look at the trading. That's so impressive that you can go up against a mage like that, especially Victor, who's known for clapping ADC at Worlds. Like, the double if play wouldn't have happened if it wasn't a Victor. So, yeah, it looks like blue side has full reign of the map here. I think your assessment was correct on paper, but that bot play just opened up so many possibilities, and unless Fiora can start doing something here, it's gonna get really ugly.
Doing right now?
Yep, there you go. So you had the caster curse, now I have the caster curse.
It's the Triforce. She finished the Triforce, she's got a bunch more damage.
Yep.
No Elise to go to the Shadow Realm, buy Mordekaiser time. I think blue side needs to ride their Vayne to victory right now. She's definitely the strongest member on the team, as well as the one that's going to be the most effective as the game goes on later. Elise heavily out.
Big fight, top side skirmish, they're just walking away. Nautilus is caught here, there's too much damage. The 2v3 doesn't go in his favor. Yeah, this is tower for red side. Yeah, the fire drakes are really paying dividends. I think the skirmishes are favoring blue, but when you get organized fights in lanes, red side is going to have a clear advantage. And unless the Sylas can come online, it's going to be a problem. He's supposed to be one of your primary carries, and I know oh, he got it! Nice!
Missed time on the parry.
Yeah, missed time on the parry, but a really big ultimate from Sylas. I like this steal, and just a gigantic clump of damage. It was unfortunate. So yeah, Sylas is officially on the board. Oh, Jinx Rocket on Vayne? I don't quite understand that.
It's a bit confusing. Vayne's not low.
Yeah, Vayne's actually full health. We'll see. Maybe I wonder. So what do you think teams do here, right? Look at the game, map state. Let's talk about blue side first. You know, what's your strategy? Do you 4-1? Do you 1-3-1? Do you want to group up and fight? What are you gonna do?
I think Mordekaiser having TP is very important, so send him down bot lane while he hopefully can still match the Fiora.
Ooh, big hook from Blitzcrank here. That's a nice catch, a really good. Oh, and the W off the flip. Nautilus, Jinx is caught. Blitz is gonna die too. Triple kill. Oh man, that was such a good collapse from Nocturnal Dragons. You know, that's the kind of danger of Blitzcrank, right? You get to pull somebody, but unless you can get the kill, all you're doing is basically Malphite ulting yourself. This could be an inhibitor. I mean,
sometimes they want to.
Fiora hasn't even started basing. They're gonna trade towers, but this is an inhibitor for sure. I mean,
yeah. They went.
Sorry, go ahead.
I haven't got much. They went for a 3v5 and got punished for it. They lost.
I didn't think they knew it was a 3v5. I think they thought they just caught Jared the Bear. You know, I want to, you know, I'm a total advocate of flaming where appropriate, right? If you screw up, you screw up, and that's part of our job as casters to point out who's doing good and who's doing bad. But to me, it was really Nocturnal Dragons reacting to a bad situation. a lot of times someone gets hooked, everyone backs away, and they're like, "Oop, sorry, dude," you know. But they had the mindset and the aggressive nature to say, "Hey, we can fight this." So, ooh, I don't know about that flash. At least he's already dead to rights. You don't really need to flash there, but
As a counterpoint to that, they did kind of catch him, but they saw the Vayne, Zinzao, and Mordekaiser all showed up on Vision around the time. So they knew, they didn't know exactly where, but they knew they were.
they knew they were in the area. Yeah, that's a really good point. That's
So I think Blitzcrank just
totally
saw red
fair.
and went for it.
Hey, you got to get those laser eyes going sometimes. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
So now,
I mean, full
side's
control of the
doing
map to
the-
blue side. Like mild gold lead, but it's really about the inhibitor and the wave management. So
now they're doing the post 20-minute strat of fight over Baron Vision for the next 10 minutes, try to get a catch.
and they're gonna fight death brush. Alicia's gonna get greedy, gonna walk too far forward.
I
Maybe.
believe Mordekaiser showed.
Yeah, he did.
Now they're looking for Fiora.
Jinx gets a tower here, so they're comfortable trading. You know, I think that RAR hasn't lost their composure, which is good. They're saying, hey, they're not doing Baron. We can just trade on this, and they got a tower, so they're cutting the gold lead.
And I think that's having the Jinx be the one bot is very smart for them. She's definitely the one that they want to funnel the most gold on. Because if there's any,
Jinx's rockets are so random. I don't understand.
yeah,
It's a finish. It's an execute. I wonder how comfortable Jinx. Not to say that they're doing poorly. It's just it seems like a champion comfort issue. Also, what do you think about Jinx going mid instead of doing the Drake? I feel like the Drake was free for the taking, especially with all 5 topside. What do you think about that?
100% should have taken the Drake. I don't know. I don't think there's a reason why she shouldn't have. They knew all 5 members were top. Maybe
Did she just
Mordekaiser
wanna-
would have TP'd, but
Yeah, there was a pink ward in there, but she wouldn't have known that. Oh, nice hook by Nautilus. Fiora is dead to rights here. There's nothing you can do. You gotta lead with your CC. I think she didn't expect it to hit her. It seemed like
just a late reaction.
a bit forgiving on the hook there from a range perspective. So now blue team gets the, so we're even on Drakes. The double fire Drake is definitely important, but oh, big engage here. The hook misses. Yeah, they're gonna siege mid here, and yep, not much going on other than just a mid siege. That was a really nice escape by Silas and Mordekaiser. They need to recall and send some people there, though. I don't know about the Vayne split pushing in this scenario. This can get ugly fast if you let them. But they are pushing into super minions, so... Oh, spooky Kets. Yeah, okay, force the flash. There's a lot of damage coming out from Mordekaiser. They gotta be very careful here. Ooh, I like the repel into Zonius. That was a really nice play by Coma. Not to be confused with Coach Coma. Jinx is caught. A lot of damage coming forward. Everyone's standing on the Victor ult. Super over aggressive there by blue side. They just didn't have the manpower. You know, Vayne hasn't made it into the fight yet. If she can keep topping herself off on these minions, though, there's definitely room to re-engage.
That was a very good re-engage by the Victor, seeing the opportunity where both Nautilus and Silas were stacked up on top of each other, so just throw down the W and the ulti. Tons of AoE damage, AoE CC.
Just to throw his kid out there, you know. It's really, man, this is really the Jinx and Victor show. I know Victor's not quite showing up in the scoreboard in the way that I'm sorry, the Vayne and Victor show. I know Victor's not quite showing up at the scoreboard with the 9 assists. You know, if those were 9 kills, people would be a little more scared. But really, those two champions are going to define the game from here on out. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say that he's definitely carrying his weight. He's ahead of the Silas, especially in map pressure, just innately as a champion and how he's been playing. And they're light in the dark on getting rid of this Vayne by just deleting her, hitting all of his buttons, and
Quetzalcoatl's dead. He has no flash. Yeah, that was a bit greedy without the flash.
They could Baron off that.
They definitely
no
should.
vision. Bot lane is bot.
And bot lane is bot side. You know,
Doing
your
Infernals.
best chance at a steal here is Silas walking in and stealing Jinx Rocket. It's such a weird play, but it can definitely be done. Maybe he'll steal. Yep. Oh, he stole Victor ult. I don't know about that. They
Ooh.
gotta give up Baron here. Fiora is popping off, but she's
Fiora went a
unfortunate.
little bit too far. Flash to make the play good.
Gnome Lad popping off though.
Oh.
Jinx goes down here. Nope. Oh my god. There's so much going on I can barely keep track. Basically, the pentakill on Gnome Lad. This guy is insane.
Oh.
Wow. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm not the most rap gaudy play-by-play that ever existed, but I just gotta tip my hat to Gnome Lad here. That was such a good, mechanically intensive fight. He dipped, ducked, dived, and dodged around everybody, and he totally deserved that pentakill. That was incredible.
I think the silence is a good way to just watch it, because they were down 2 members. Silas was out of the fight. Mordekaiser was dead. It was a
Yeah,
3v4.
they didn't have the tools, right? That's the thing is, when you have a hyper carry like Vayne, you look at your teammates as like, okay, what is Mordekaiser gonna do for me? What is Xin Zhao gonna do for me as the Vayne? Because it's really about the Vayne. And Vayne said, nah, I don't need that. I don't need anybody. I'm popping off. We're gonna do this. He doesn't even have QSS. It's just insane. He played that so well, and his build is terrifying to the other team. Like, I don't think you have a bigger damage build in the game right now for a Vayne.
I think it's a little greedy not to go QSS.
I totally agree, but you know, you gotta maximize those damage numbers. And yeah, this is exactly
There
what
you go. Fiora.
Fiora. Yeah, it's just
Level 17
what I
Fiora. There's not
expected
much
about
to say about it.
yeah. I mean, this is what we thought would happen earlier. And props to NDRvsRWR for holding his own in the 1v1 for so long. It's just a brutal matchup. And now that Fiora is online, especially post buff Fiora,
Now she can
this
take
is really the
turn.
Vayne show. Here, speaking of the Vayne show, Elise is trapped. This is unfortunate. Victor throws a nice ability. Xin Zhao goes in, knocks everybody out. Victor's dead. Vayne's hitting, free hitting. Nope, it's just the towers. I mean, they're doing what they can, but unless you get to Gnome Lad and you know, lock him up, you're gonna have a bad time. I think the split push is correct here. The 4-1 is the correct strategic choice.
I think Fiora did good to pull pressure away so that they can't, blue side can't take any more turrets. It's gonna hurt not to like panic TP in or back and try to come to the fight.
Yeah, they need to keep doing. Red side needs to keep the irony here. So I'm sorry to cut myself off and restart the thought. Right, the weird part about this game is that blue side looks at this and says, "Hey, let's keep doing what we're doing. It's going good. We just got a quadra kill. We just got a ton of stuff going on. Pentakill." But red side is feeling the exact same way. So they're gonna split push with Fiora and they're gonna fight as while NDRvsRWR is going to be stuck in an island, and it's either on him to start a fight with his team and then TP back to the Fiora, or start with the Fiora and then TP in if he gets it away. So, oh, we got a big fight. NDRvsRWR is totally dead to rights here. Quetzalcoatl going in was a huge mistake. I think, you know, everyone at this point, you want to say, hey, let's fight, but you knew Silas was topside. You knew NDRvsRWR was already caught. You're gonna give up inhib here. There's really no two ways around it. You just have to save the Nexus and hope that you respawn in time because these death timers are long.
Yep, they got 25 seconds. They have a long range Jinx. They have a Blitz Cook and a
Silas
lead.
has blitz.
Pressure.
Oh,
Vayne's got popped.
yep, Vayne's dead. That's probably GG. Really good props to Gnome Lad though. He played this game super well. You know, sometimes 32 minutes late game, you know, 54 kills in, you throw sometimes. So really well done by RAR to go in and stay undefeated. Both undefeated teams staying undefeated. So, yeah, good game. Who do you have for MVP?
100% Gnome led.
Yeah, me too. It's like,
Yeah.
I can't. It's the losing team. It's so hard, dude. I want to be like, Oh yeah, other people played good, but like, oh my god, that pentakill was so good. Like, sometimes you
And
get a
like,
pentakill and it's not really well earned, but like this was super earned. Victor actually, honorable mention to Zyra Ascend. 2, 5, and 15, dealing the most damage in the game without getting the resources. I know he had a pretty winning matchup, ranged into the melee, but whew, that was a nice. That was a good game. That was a really
because he,
entertaining.
he had to concede a lot of the CS to Jinx to just try to get another hyper carry on the table, but he played very well using his abilities to catch in space.
Oh, was I
Something about the
behind the whole
pentacle,
game? I'm so sorry, dude.
yeah, just a little bit.
You should have
Something
said
about
something on this. Feel free next time to just say, "Hey, dude, speed it up," because we're a little desynced sometimes. It's the nature of the beast. But
nature of
sorry,
the
go ahead.
spectating
I
mode.
just got the because I'm in full screen. I didn't see that until just now. So
My bad.
no, you're
Um,
good, dude. It was my fault.
so something about Vayne and the pentakill. Victor went to catch out the Silas to punish the Silas, and Silas Zonia to buy time or stopwatch to
Hmm.
buy time, and Victor threw down the W. And Vayne saw that Victor didn't have Q, E, W, or alt on cooldown. They were all on cooldown, so she just went in, took him out before he could get any cooldowns, and then moved on behind. So the Victor used all of his stuff. Vayne saw it, went in, took the opportunity. Definitely numb led. Played very aggressive. Um, didn't
Only
have the
mistake he made
CS.
was QSS. Only mistake he made was the QSS.
100% needed a QSS. I would have gone
He,
for it before getting IE or Phantom Dancer.
I think he bought IE like right after the Penta.
Mm-hmm.
But just even when you're that late in, right? You don't need the extra BF. He already does enough damage. You
Yep.
definitely should have gone QSS. I don't know if it would have affected the outcome of the game, just because of the way the game ended
Well, they
from
might
kind
have
of a
not
weird
died right at the
situation.
end.
Well,
What tipped the balance at the
maybe
end was the Elise
Gnome
cocoon
getting
on
stunned.
Vayne.
Yep.
So if she had QSS, might have gotten away there and would
They
have had
still would have
led up to
gotten
another
choked
fight.
out. I think they still lose an inhib tower. Baron was about to come up. I think
Oh, they were
he
definitely
should
on
have
the
built
back
it.
foot.
Yeah,
Definitely on the
yeah,
back
yeah.
foot, but it might have gone to, the 45-minute, this is the last team fight kind of situation.
Definitely. Definitely. Super good game. Zyra Ascend, well job keeping it down. Really nice. We're gonna call it for a moment. We gotta get set up for game 3. Hopefully it lives up to the billing. This was probably the pop-off game of the night, but I know we're both really excited to see Lionheart Esports. Was it Lionheart? I'm sorry. Yeah, is it Lionheart?
Lionheart versus
Oh, I'm
G3.
sorry. Lionheart Esports versus G3 Reaper. So I was looking at week 3 and I was like, why are they playing mediocre? They just played. So yeah, Lionheart Esports versus G3 Reaper. So we're gonna call it here, everybody. Thank you. See you in a few minutes.
Please just count me